Let us know. Oh, we are streaming. Now, how do I check if I'm streaming? Why don't you just? Why don't you just? You just. Why don't you just? No, why don't you just? In my streaming. Okay, I'm streaming. So, right now, I'm attempting to create a space station. But one of the first things I wanted to try out is to see if I could get to orbit. And I was successful in doing that. Sorry, I'm eating an apple. I'm starving and I need my nutrition. All right. So I have been pretty successful getting into orbit. As we can see here. Oh wait, I need to transmit the data. Now, I'm going to try and transmit the data. Select a part to transfer the data to. I have no idea how to do this. Oh, already stored in this module. Okay, transmit data. There we go. Returning data, aborting transmission. Did it work? Ooh, I don't think it did. Not enough electric charge. Oh my god! Yeah. Yeah, that failed horribly. So, yeah. So, try to. Okay. Charge it up just a little bit. Problem is, I need to. Like, if I'm going to try to do this, I'm going to need to basically attempt to land the ship. Let's try to add a maneuver around here to where I can drop about 20,000. That will mean that I can actually just use the atmospheric pressure to slow down the ship so I can land. Let's hope that works. Now we just have to wait until we get there. Oh man, not having charge sucks. Oop. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait until I actually get there. or at least somewhat close. Because I do have to burn. I have no battery. Oh damn, no, that was a bit much. Too much. Small burns, people. That is all you need when there we go. This should be enough to get us to... Oh, wait, was that actually enough? Hoping it was. 37,000 meters. I think that's enough to get into... Where's the atmospheric line? Let's just see. We're gonna fast forward this. Oh, but we're gonna need battery also in order to even launch the chutes. This is gonna be a hassle. So let's just try to burn off as much fuel as we can so we can land, because we need to charge the batteries. Or at least just about enough to where we can launch the chutes and somehow safely land. I do not want to lose all this data. Who is calling?
Hello.
Hello, my friend.
Yes.
No, FYI.
Just seeing what the fuck is wrong.
FYI, I'm streaming right now, so
okay.
Watch with what you say.
Yeah,
oh man.
I was trying to figure out what's wrong.
Lesson number 1 about trying to get to orbit. Don't go there without without solar panels. Things will probably get very tricky. Way more than you could possibly want. I'm just gonna jettison. Now the hope here is that, oh my god, we don't burn too much to launch the parachutes. Oh man, this is terrible. Okay, gyroscope, I'm gonna... Yeah, just leave it disabled. Trying to save some power. It's a tricky situation. The whole point here, we're able to have enough battery to launch the parachutes. And then we're attempting a very, very harsh. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is very bad. This is gonna be worse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think we're gonna make it. We're gonna crash on land, which is, there we go. And it's dead. Ooh, that was harsh. But we have our parachutes open, which means that we can at the very least land somewhat safely, as long as the nose doesn't hit first, because that's where all this data stored. Oh, and boom. Yes. So, did you manage to figure out our password?
Motherfucking you piece of crap.
Guess not.
What?
I'm saying that I guess you didn't. You haven't managed to fix your password.
You know what the fuck was wrong with this bullshit?
What?
This fucking piece of thing. How the fuck do you even change keyboards in the bloody before even boot up menu?
Oh, so it changed to a different language?
Yeah. Oh, if I hadn't tried it with assuming it was a different keyboard, I would have never figured out what the fuck it was wrong.
Oh my god.
Jesus, piece of.
Come
Yeah. You're bullshit.
Success. But you managed to get it.
No, that was my work computer.
Oh,
Not
no.
for my home one yet.
Oh my god, it's off
It's
time.
fine if I lose my home one, to be honest.
Science. Well, we're gonna get. I would like to get something that would help me in outer space. Like photovoltaic panels. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that. That's good. Anyway, I was saying, have you ever heard of Maverick Sabre?
Of what?
Maverick Sabre. He's a singer.
Can't say I have.
He's pretty good. He launched a new album today. So you know that song I sent you with the video?
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the singer.
Oh, okay.
I think he makes ballads. Sorry. I think he makes ballads. I guess that's what it's called, like ballads. Is ballads a genre?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Oh, you piece of. I will find you, and then I'll murder you.
Still nothing?
Nah, I don't know what's wrong with my home computer, to be honest. At least my work one is fine now. Jesus Christ, encryption methods. As a security guard, security is killing me right now.
That is both the best and the worst thing about encryption, especially when it comes to personal devices, is that the further you take it, all you need is one mistake. You forget a password once.
Yeah?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you forget your password once, your OS is gone. Worst case, your BIOS is gone. Like, I've actually If I actually, I think something like that. Actually, no. I was saying, I told you it never happened to me, but I think it did happen to me once. I think I did lose my Linux password, and I just formatted it. Luckily, like I don't tend to keep much inside of my Linux OS because I just use it for like work and like specific things, and I also have my NAS. So like everything that is important I keep there. The only problem is that my NAS is also encrypted. So if that fails, well, there goes my entire life.
Tell me about it. I actually saw my life flash by in front of my eyes.
That's the thing. And that's why I kind of, at least when it comes to like stuff that I have important information inside of it, to be fair, I don't encrypt it. Like, I know it's the whole security thing about if you actually want to keep the data safe encrypted, but it's more like if you fail like once, like your entire life just disappears in front of your eyes. And it's no one's fault except your own. Like,
Yeah. And do you know what the worst part is?
mm-hmm.
If you have like a password like thing, right? So if you have a keypass and you're storing your password locally on your computer because you don't like the online security thing, online password security. So passwords are stored inside an encrypted computer, and then your password is again stored inside an encrypted drive, which you keep as your backup. So if you can't access your drive, you can't access your computer. But how are you gonna get access to your password file?
I hate to say it, but I tend to keep all my passwords in a very open file in a specific storage just for that case. Because your passwords, because you need to be able to easily access your passwords one way or another. Because I used to have LastPass, and I also lost that password for LastPass, and LastPass has like no recovery mode. So like literally you lose it, and obviously if you lose it, and it usually remembers the passwords to your accounts, let's say your email accounts, and you need to, and like, but I think for my case it was like literally there was no recovery option. It was like literally either you remember your password or all of your information is just gone. Like
Tell me about it. This scared like quite a portion of my life.
actually I told you I'm building this new app, and that's not, well, it's kind of like I could call it an app, but it's more like a backend service. So, and obviously I'm encrypting the passwords, but I just remembered I have no recovery service. So like if you forget your password, you're not getting your account back. That's just final.
It's the best sort of security there.
Yeah, I know.
Security by no means.
I know. It's like everything is encrypted. It's like good thing everything's encrypted. Bad thing, you forget your password, you're screwed.
I mean, I guess it's possible to hack back into your computer, but seriously.
I mean, if it's encrypted, you're gonna.
I mean, there's weird attacks nowadays which you can find.
I know, but it's kind of. I don't know. I've never tried to decrypt something. Sorry, I have tried to decrypt things, but it was like very simple, like 4-digit passwords. But no, because like most of my passwords are like my passwords tend to be phrases. Like something. So like it's easy to remember, and it's also hard to crack. Instead of like doing like weird like QX hashtag ampersand whatever, I just like make phrases, and then like that's what the password is.
Yeah. I mean, you're right about that, I guess. But,
Yeah, that's pretty much also what kind of saved my bacon is I changed the way I kind of set up passwords. Like, I mean, yeah, you use phrases instead of crazy stuff because I have one password which I use variations of for different accounts, but that doesn't feel safe at all because I feel like if someone cracks the first one, the rest becomes just like a very simple, like add a number.
Yeah. Yeah, life, right.
Ooh, you have a Rocket Max brand adapter. Okay. Modify my ship. Some of my new toys. So the chances of these guys burning up are extremely high.
Makes sense. I still can't now log into my home computer.
But do you have anything like important personal files inside of it?
I mean, I have some passwords and stuff. This will remind me to take bloody backups of this.
Yeah. Or you could just do like kind of like I did, just grab some kind of like a network storage and just keep everything there. And what?
Yeah, no, I just cut off for a second.
No, yeah. I do know that in Kerbal, you can create capsules kind of thing. Where it would, you have to unlock those. Space and space and space. You could put this here, kind of flipped this way. Close. Perfect. should be enough to somewhat protect it and charge it. Now the question is this gonna work at all?
Oh wait, I do have a backup keyboard.
See?
No, I mean it's the wireless keyboard.
Still a backup keyboard.
Yeah.
I need
Forgot about that.
oh wow. Trying to get here. So here is when I get docking ports, which is probably the most important piece in order to build a space station. That obviously includes protective shell, which I also need. Stack separator, which I also need. Ooh, backup one. Should have gotten this one I could. Advanced construction. Ooh. Let's get a tricoupler. Nose cone. We also use new fuel tanks. I feel like here's where all the good stuff is.
Okay, my keyboard is malstating.
Is what?
I think something's wrong with my keyboard.
Oh, so the backup one worked?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it could be dust, but yeah, I expect it to be dust. Oh man, I need so many research points. Oh, where am I gonna get?
No, it's typing properly. I don't know why it fucked up when I was trying to come in. Okay, this is the most confusing shit ever.
So our goal would be to get over there. And hopefully over there somewhere.
Oh, Christ. At least it's working right.
Yeah, it's true. Can I build a satellite to relay all my information? I'm guessing that I can't.
So are you on YouTube or are you on Twitch?
YouTube, son. I'm kind of trying to figure out what is the best way to build this thing. Because I want to build a space station, but now I just realized I need a hell of a lot of batteries. Sorry, a lot of I need a lot of research points in order for me to get because I need like docking couplets in order to link so I can actually launch like parts of the space station up into orbit. Because I think you remember the time where I built like that crazy ginormous space station.
Yeah, oh yeah, space station. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that was orbiting Earth, right?
Yeah. And like I would like consistently send like you know tanks of fuel to the station. So if I ever wanted to do like an expedition to like around the solar system, I would use it kind of like as a relay point. So I would send maybe one or two rockets first with just fuel. They would land, they would refuel the station, and the third rocket would show up like just there, like enough, barely enough fuel. It would refuel, and then it would go out to like the moon or near. I think how many planets are there? Like, how many moons does Kerbal actually have? I think it has like two.
A lot.
No, I mean like the
Like
so-called
the
planet Earth.
like the base planet.
Yeah, the base planet.
That has only one.
I think it has two.
Was there a change? Because I remember there being only one moon, and then the other planets had more moons.
I know, but specifically this one, I think Kerbal has two. I think that's what I remember. Um. Okay, zoom out, zoom out. Yep, it has two. So as the the moon and Minimus, and then there's a but now we have asteroids and unknown objects, and well, also called Venus and Mercury. The one part that would be cool if they had was like the asteroid belt to actually try to get through it.
But you do have asteroids, right?
Yeah, you do have asteroids, but you don't have like the asteroid belt to make things interesting. Like imagine trying to like navigate through it. But then again, like the asteroid belt is kind of two-dimensional, right? It's not a sphere. Or is it a sphere?
Oh no. I think it's well, yeah, the asteroid belt is literally like a belt, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So if it's a belt, you can just go like around it. Like
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, but there's like all these unknown. There are all of these unknown objects around the so-called Earth.
Those are probably like dead ships which you have.
I know that there's one which is kind of like a rescue mission. And rescue missions are fun. They're like
But they're not like missions per se, or are you do you actually have missions?
now we have missions in the game, but
Wow, stuff has changed. The last time I played was
yeah, now you have
the
missions.
science mode and the other mode which came out. What was it called?
Wait, what?
Where you have to even get money to actually build stuff?
That's like the career mode ish.
Yeah, career mode.
I don't know if it's actually career because there's a career mode, and I think career mode, yeah. Because in career mode you have missions. It's true, and then through those missions you get money, so you actually build the ships, which is like I don't play career mode because like as much as awesome it is, I have enough trouble just getting like enough research to actually get the parts I need to like get to space to do the stuff that I want. Now I have to be concerned about a budget. Like
Yeah, it's fun, but it's also like the sandbox mode is fun to build crazy shit in, but it's also very boring.
exactly. Sandbox mode is cool, but like very quickly it just like it kind of ruins the whole. It's kind of like playing GTA on cheat with cheat mode. Like
I mean, yeah, that's true. Like San Andreas was fun. Getting jetpacks and all that stuff is also cool, but
yeah, but like
especially
exactly, but like after like a while, it's you just feel kind of like the game loses its purpose because you're not grinding anymore. Like, oh, you want a plane? Because like I think in GTA San Andreas, you had to go to like all the way to like like military airbase so you can try to get like one of those jet fighters.
yeah, yeah.
You actually had to struggle to
Getting
get there.
possible.
But like we just use a cheat code to get it. Like the game loses its purpose almost.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, bro. I completely agree. Thing is, why would you want to play a game on easy mode, right?
Yep. Makes no sense really.
I mean, okay, if you there are games which you want to play on easy mode, but like just to have fun, relax, and all that stuff. But if you're like actually playing, it's a
Like
bit of a waste of time.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't think there's ever a purpose to play a game on easy mode. Like games for me usually have two purposes. Either it's challenging or it has a good story.
Yeah.
Like it needs to have one of those two things in order for a game to become relevant. Otherwise, it's just a waste.
I mean, look, what you call it? If you play something like Mario Kart with your friends, or the Switch games, or like even Pokemon, they're just meant for cheap fun. I guess that's one. All it's just like instant cheap fun.
Yeah,
So those games are different.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna go into like Mario stuff, not like I mean the actual single player Mario stuff because those games are they have a bit of difficulty to them.
I mean, yeah. The further you get, the more difficult it gets. But it's the same. But I think the whole purpose with games like Super Mario is that they are challenging. They start easy, but I mean, they're not exactly hard, but they're also not easy. Um, the further you get, I mean, I think the problem with Super Mario is that the game is so old. Like you've seen all of it at least 10 times, and so like that's why I think a lot of people just don't think it's actually hard. I think, but like I remember like when I first started playing Super Mario, it was actually quite challenging to just try to complete the game. Same thing with like Pokemon. I've completed like Fire Red maybe 4 or 5 times, and there was this weird period when me and my brother we kind of figured out that you can put emulators in your phone,
Yeah.
and it was a time we were doing like a lot of trips,
Uh-huh.
and we literally like used that time or most of it just to play like Pokemon. So like we'd both start our thing would be that we'd both start Pokemon Fire Red, and then we'd try to see who can complete it first. Like it would take like maybe a couple of weeks for each other. I mean, obviously if you try to like do a run, you can probably finish Pokemon Red like in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
But we were actually, just taking it as it was and like, doing other stuff. But it was actually quite like it was the only problem that I had with that I've had with Fire Red is that I always manage to complete the main story, but then you get to go to that island off like outside of the map. Oh no,
Oh,
I think it's
yeah,
still in the
yeah.
map. You get to go to that island to fight like the ultimate Pokemon masters. And
Yeah.
I've never managed to beat everyone there. I finished like I completed the main story 5 times, but I used to have this thing where like I would complete the story and then for some reason I would format my phone.
But yeah, and if you had the old Game Boy, sometimes they would just completely wipe themselves.
Exactly, they would just wipe themselves and you go like, oh man, start all over again. And like And it's, like that's my weird relationship with games. Like for me, like if a game loses like its progress, like the game is dead to me. Like it has no point anymore.
Yeah. And to be honest, like Pokemon, like since all the games are so similar, it does get a bit tedious after a while.
It does. But my thing is that I genuinely enjoy playing Pokemon Fire Red, like
Oh
continuously.
yeah, it's fun.
Like for
There's
me,
a new one coming out, and maybe I'll play that.
yeah, for me Fire Red is how would I say?
That bomb.
Yeah. It was my first real no, it wasn't my first real Pokemon experience. I think I was playing what was it, Yellow? Which one was the first Pokemon?
Red, I think.
Red was not the first. Oh, red. Okay. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think it was red, blue, then yellow.
Yeah. I think
And Fire Red is like a remake of Red.
oh, red, yeah. Um
Was it red, blue, or red, green, and yellow? I don't know. Since like you know how like Fire Red has an alternate version called Leaf Green, where like you'll find some stuff in Fire Red, some Pokemon, and some Pokemon in Leaf Green.
yeah. It's funny how Nintendo manages to rehash the exact same games for like decades and like no one complains.
No, they released it at the same time actually. Like you know, Fire Red, Leaf Green, and the newer ones, Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, or whatever.
Like what
The
do you
best part was the recent remake of Ruby and Sapphire, which they called something Ruby and Alpha Sapphire or something like that.
like for me to be honest, I kind of lost all interest in Pokemon when they went 3D. Like I tried
Yeah,
playing it, but I'm so old school, like it just killed the mood for me completely.
no, I agree with you, but it's not that bad to be honest. I played it; it's
It's
not that
not.
bad. Like
It's
the
not. It
storyline
really
has actually become more better, also to a certain extent over time.
no, I understand. It makes sense that it became better. I mean, but like I said, for me, the main reason that I play Pokemon is for that. What's the name again? That feeling of like you get from like your childhood, you know, like that
Oh,
memory,
nostalgia.
nostalgia. Exactly. I play Pokemon for nostalgia. Like other than the fact that it has a pretty interesting like gameplay, but I play Pokemon for nostalgia. Nothing else. I mean,
Okay, Steve. Let's be honest. Interesting gameplay isn't what makes people go back to Pokemon. It's the same fight. You have four moves. You have to fight something, and when it goes to zero, they die.
yeah,
Well, they lose.
yeah. I know. It's
There are
exactly.
there are elements of strategy to it, of course, but people don't play it for like the mechanics. I think
Yeah, it's true.
because in all honesty, except for the newer ones, the older games didn't have much in terms of mechanics. At least that's my feeling.
No, I think that's exactly what it is. It's 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 exactly what it is. Yeah, so here it is. It's so the first Pokemon version that came out was called Pocket Monsters. Came out in
Yeah,
1996. It
Japanese.
was red and green, and then blue came out, and then red and blue, and then yellow.
Yeah, yellow is I think the one where you could only choose Pikachu as a starter.
Yep. I think I actually played green, not yellow, because I remember playing like damn Bulbasaur, and like
Uh,
it was
my
a good
first
days
one
where
was
like
red. Then I played actually. Okay, the one which I bought and played was red and yellow. But I don't know if you remember. You've gone in Singapore Airlines, right?
yeah.
So
Oh, and they have those games inside of the
yeah,
in the flight.
they had these games. I don't know if they still have it, but they had that. They had I don't know if they had Mario, but they had Kirby. I think they had Spaceman and lots of other arcade games.
One of the few reasons I actually like flying.
Well, I can't deny it. But I really probably one. I've gone all over the world, and I think they're probably my favorite airlines ever.
I can tell you which one is definitely not my favorite airlines.
Delta.
Nope, France Airways.
Oh yeah, they lost everything for you too.
They stole all my stuff. Oh my god! And it took 3 months to try to settle the case. And then when they finally, actually, they were like, "Okay, we found your luggage." They brought it back. It was all busted and broken. Everything that was like my laptop, my games, my CDs, everything was stolen. And then I complained on, hey, like my stuff was stolen. They were like, oh yeah, you should have like announced or whatever. I was like, yeah, but like this, like, what am I supposed to, like, I don't know what the price, because stuff is kind of old. Like, yeah, you have to like write, like, and then I was trying to find like, yeah, like, then who do I process as a complaint with? Because I flew Lufthansa, and then Air France, and then South African Airways. And then I talked to like South African Airways, like, hey, what the hell's going on with my stuff? So they go like, oh no, you have to talk to Air France. Then I'll talk to Air France and go like, oh yeah, that's yeah, you're the right person, but you're gonna have to go through SAA. And I was like, and then I went to SAA, and then SAA goes like, oh no, go back to Air France. And I went to Air France, and Air France goes, go back to SAA. And I was like, my stuff. It was like literally all of my livelihood of like all the years I lived in Denmark. And it was like, what is going on? And they literally just like, they were staring at me. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's so horrible.
Bro, I totally get you.
But like, it was pretty much like certain that like everything was stolen while still in France, because the SAA flight was like super fast. Like it was like I landed 10 minutes, I was in like the next plane, and then I landed in the next place. Unless I actually stole it in SAS. I don't know. But the only good thing I'll give to Air France is that they upgraded me to like premium economy on like an A380, and like premium economy was like kind of next to business, but like behind it. But like it was like, it felt like business in a lot of flights. And for that, I do thank them. But damn, the whole thing, the whole runaround that I had with Air France was horrible.
But bro. Think about it this way. You have economy, you have business, and then you have first class. These separations are separations. Now, why would you have something called a premium economy where you have to pay more, but it's not good enough for a business class, but it's better than the average economy class?
The thing there is that premium economy is actually pretty decent. Like, from my experience, premium economy, I think the problem with premium economy is that I think the reason the premium economy exists is that the plane is so big. Like that whole like second floor of the A380. Because like I think the second floor of the A380 is meant just for like premium and like premium business, but like the second floor is so big that the only way that is this thing charging? Yeah, it's charging. That the only way to use up at least most of the space is to add like a third class, because I don't think that they'd be capable of selling that many business and first class seats in a plane that big. Because like half of the plane is business and first class. Like, you're not gonna have that many people flying. Like,
yeah, you know what? You're right.
At least that's from what I've noticed. Hashtag. What happens if it's bright outside?
So, lunch for me is tortilla chips with chicken and mashed potatoes.
Oh, that sounds so delicious.
I'm ordering that. I'm not even cooking it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, I would love to say I'm going to cook it, but I have literally nothing except for garbage at home. And I think that I haven't thrown the garbage out yet.
Oh, man. Yesterday they played me so badly, because yesterday the valet trash came over. And usually they come to pick up the trash at like 10 p.m. and I took out the trash at 8. And officially the timings for taking out the trash is supposed to be 5 to 7. So I was like an hour late. So I was like, doesn't really matter. They never show up on time. And then I come out and like the guy for the valet is like staring at my eyes, like, but it's like at the end of the hallway. He kind of cleared the hallway, but like he was at the end. I was like, hey, are you the valet guy? He was like, yeah. I was like, so you're still picking up trash? He was like, yeah. I was like, can you take this? It was like, nah, I already been through. It was like, but you're like maybe 100 steps from me, and you're holding the actual cart. And I was like, no, I can't pick up your trash anymore. And I'm like, you're literally, I could walk to you. It's like, no, I'm not going to take it. It's like, you're right there. It's like,
Yeah, bro.
oh my God. Valet trash is one of the best things I found in this country. I'll be honest.
Valet trash.
Yeah, valet trash. When they come pick up trash in your house.
Ah, like they do back home for us?
What?
Like they do when we're back home,
Wait.
back in our countries.
Well, back in the country, we just had people to do it.
The point? The point, but
like, if someone had asked me, where do you throw out the cat trash back home, I wouldn't know what to say. Like, I've never thrown out, like, I throw out the trash inside of the house, but, like, usually, like, someone else would just take it out somewhere else and just throw it away. I don't even know where they throw it out. Which feels, like, insanely spoiled. But to be fair, like, employment there is, like, so cheap, it's insane. It's borderline illegal in most places. Brashed off. Oops, a bit shaky. One thing I do have to figure out in this game is how to properly control a plane, as a ship as it's ascending.
I actually remember remembering how to do that, but then they added the air friction stuff, and that thing totally fucked me off.
Yeah, I know. Like they added like a bunch of things. Now, for example, like you can really mess up the direct, like your weight, and like the aerodynamics of like your ships are so important to the point where if you kind of mess up, like where you put the winglets, like the ship will just like will tilt one way and just go and just do like a 360 and crash. I think it's about what 1400 meters per second, so you can get into orbit, right? I think that's it. Let's see.
Yeah, sideways and
Yeah.
on some angle.
Yeah. Add a maneuver. 5. And that might not be high enough, to be honest. All right. Here's to hoping I don't crash and burn. I think it's around 40-something thousand meters to where the atmospheric pressure and Kerbal catches here. And you crash and burn. Trying a little bit of height.
Fuck it, I don't really like IDs. This is so fucking annoying.
You don't like what?
I don't like IDEs when I'm programming Python.
I have completely given up on IDEs. Like, I can't even remember the last time I used an IDE. Like, unless I'm like on the final stages of releasing like a mobile app, which then I have to go through like Xcode or Android Studio, I don't even touch IDEs anymore. Well, to be fair, it depends on what you're using. Because right now I'm sticking to mostly JavaScript, and JavaScript, you don't really need a like.
Do you even have IDs for JavaScript? Doubt it, right?
Not really, but you can use debuggers. There are debuggers for JavaScript, which I think Visual Studio Code has a debugger for JavaScript. When it comes to Python, to be fair, I haven't released anything in Python in a very long time. The only thing
thank you very much, Python, but you really are a pain in the ass.
What, Python, right?
Yeah, and a Python.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, no offense or anything to Python, and I'm pretty sure it's really good, but I just don't like IDEs. And especially not the UI for Python.
No, yeah, like PyCharm is a pain to use. Like, it never works when the way you actually want it to. Which I don't understand how it just keeps doing that. Like, it's been years and like it still has the same problems.
I think like people who use it are probably like really know how to use it. It's just like I don't know how to use it, so I really don't know how to use it.
Like PyCharm for me is starting to get to that stage where it's kind of like VHDL. Have you ever used that?
Which one?
VHDL. It's
Oh yeah, dude, first semester.
Yeah, I know. Where it's like, I think that stuff was discontinued, right? At least it.
I don't know. I'm never gonna use that in my entire life.
No, neither am I. I will never use that again. Like, it's kind. Like, by the time we started using it, like the thing was discontinued by a few years, and it was kind of like, what? But it was like the one tool that I actually had to give. But like the IDE is like so old, and like it's a pain.
I think there was like Mac. I forgot the name. It was basically a C compiler, which is a hell lot better than VHDL.
Yeah, there is one that came out to replace it. We just never used it.
I don't understand the point of that. That was like the most most useless piece of thing. Well, okay, that's saying too much. The most useless piece of thing which we ever used was that workshop class which we had. Do you remember?
Yeah. Wait, workshop class. Wait, I can't remember exactly. What did we do in a workshop class?
First semester, you had to do all those.
Oh, all those weird projects?
Yeah, mini
Yeah.
projects. Build a dice on hardware.
Yeah. I remember now. Oh, God. This class was such a fucking pain. I think I burned my finger in a capacitor. Like, wasn't Pablo or Alex who almost lost his eye?
I know, like someone actually exploded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was Alex. He blew a capacitor in his face, and like all the acid went. It was like, oh my god, he could have died. Oh my god, that class was a pain. And the worst thing was like making the boards, and like no matter what you did, like it all depended on like the quality of the board that you made. Like if your board was like a little bit off, and like some of the circuits weren't talking properly because the chemicals you used were like a little bit off, like ugh, that class was a pain, like a real pain. I want to see if this ship can actually survive. From the looks of it, it's always facing the sun. So it's not really gonna have a problem getting power. Why don't you just... Yeah, so that's definitely enough solar panels to power the ship for a good time. I'm gonna try to create a proper satellite now. Trying to make sure its altitude. Or perhaps this is not changing, because if that changes, it means that we're scraping against the atmosphere. Why don't you just... Why don't you just... No, to be fair, part of me always wish I kind of took like I stuck with electronics because I kind of did enjoy.
It's fun, except when you have to do it a lot. Trust me.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's a lot of fun until you actually have to do it. Like when you have to repeat the same process like 15 times and somehow still get it wrong.
Like, I'll tell you this, it's not worth it.
Yeah. And now my tablet died. How am I going to charge this? I feel like considering the amount of cables I have around me, I should be able to easily charge the thing on my table. Nope, not lightning. Not lightning. My lightning charging cables. I guess I threw them away. Not the wisest option. I found one. Let's hope this thing isn't broken. It's not. Oh, this is an Amazon Basics. And this cable goes here. Oh, everything's tangled. Ugh. Here. Yeah. The plug this here. Nope. Switch this here. And this plug here. Now it should be working. Ugh. See if it charges. Hooray! Oh, okay. So now I'm kind of in a weird place where I'm realizing that for me to create a space station, I need a lot more points, which means I need to do a lot more research. Pretty much scoured the planet. I think I haven't gone to the deserts yet. I have managed to create a plane. The only problem is that I have a really hard time landing planes in this game. It's not like the old Kerbal where you could pretty much just land anywhere. Here it's like you land pretty much anywhere and your plane just turns into dust. It's very annoying, confusing, and upsetting. There's this weird globe thing. Direct connection. Oh, I don't have a direct connection to Space Center. Maybe that is what was wrong with my previous things that I did not have. Ooh. Oh. Vessel links. Instance. Okay. Horrible singing. I wish I could actually like stream to you guys this song by Maverick Saver called Guns in the Distance. Give it a shot. Some of you might enjoy it. The other half might wish you guys never had ears. But it's actually a pretty good song. And I'm trying to figure out what is truly the best way to do things in this game. Because I do have to do research, because there's no real option for that. And I would like to create a swarm of satellites around the planet so I can make like relays. The satellite talks to this one, the satellite talks to that one, they all talk to each other, and they're all different altitudes, and it creates this mesh network of satellites. I think I'm going to do that next. I'm going to create my mesh network of satellites for communication. Let's do that. Let's revert to flight because there's no point in landing because I'm not going to really get any real points. I will pick up the call, my friend. It's just trying to turn on my iPad and I'll answer from there. See, my iPad actually does a job. Or will it just pretend to call me when it came in? Oh, there it is.
Hello.
Yeah, my phone died. My iPad died.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I need to create the satellite. Which means... oh, this good part gets assigned. So there's... pretty much all of this goes away. Away. Distance. Away. And then I rack it up with as many of these bad boys as I can. distance. What's the distance for antenna? Rating 500,000 for something, I'm guessing. 1,005 M. I'm not really sure what that means. Would like some lights. All right. See if I can get the satellite on orbit and somehow just not destroy it completely while still trying to get up there.
How much Docker have you worked with?
Very little. I just tried it. I tried to get it working a couple of times, and after I got it working, I just stopped using it.
I think like Docker is one of the few things which I'd rather have to work on Windows than Ubuntu.
Really? Why?
They actually have a GUI for it on Windows.
Oh, really?
And it's probably just my inexperience talking. I just need more experience in it, and then I'll probably be.
Yeah, that's usually I think what it is. It's just inexperience. Because like it was like literally the only reason I worked with Docker was just so I can get experience with it, just to know just so I can at least know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, so that you can write it on your LinkedIn.
Exactly. Worked with Docker for 15 years.
Funny story, Docker wasn't even around.
Oh my god.
It's like, what you call? It's like saying I've been programming on Swift. Did you actually see that job ad? Like I saw a job ad which said you need to know how to program in Swift for the last 15 years or something.
Yeah, like and like Swift was released within the last 7 years, and it's
No, that was like 1 year after Swift was released. Like that was about 3-4 years ago.
yeah,
And there
exactly.
was 1 year after its release, you need to have 15 years of experience on Swift.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And like it's kind of like because like now I'm kind of like blasted by recruiters. And they sound like they know their stuff, but then you read the descriptions. Like you notice like so many spelling mistakes, and they go like, "Oh, you need to know." What was it that they said? They said it would be nice if you knew Node and JavaScript, and I was like, Node is entirely built in JavaScript. What the hell are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, wait. They said it would be nice if you knew Node and JavaScript.
yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Node is actually JavaScript.
exactly. It's built entirely in JavaScript, and it was like there was also another one. It'd be nice if you knew WordPress and PHP, and I was like, WordPress is built on PHP. What are you talking about?
So there is a difference of that. There are people who know WordPress as in like how to drag and drop.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, but the Node in JavaScript was the one that actually got me. I was like so confused.
I mean, like the fact that you said, I'm thinking for a second. I really don't think it's possible to do Node without JavaScript.
There is no way. The moment you open Node, it's JavaScript. Like
It's called Node.js. It's
exactly.
Node.
It's like how am I gonna know one without the other one if the one is built on the other one? It's like trying to say, we would like to hire race car drivers. It would be nice if you had a driver's license. Like, okay. It's like saying we'd like to hire pilots who have been in an airplane.
Yeah, that's the criteria you need for pilots. They've been on a plane once.
Clearly.
That's one side I would be happy to miss.
Yeah. Because this is Probo Vibe. It says I need an SAS module. I have an SAS module. What? Is this SAS module? Guessing it. This is the SAS module. I wrote SAS. Also, it's inside entity. It also provides automatic stabilization assistance. Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
invested in them. Suddenly it's like 10 hours down the line.
I know. I've already been here a while. And I'm tuning, like I'm building this satellite. Only problem is this thing is starting to get like hella heavy. And
Yeah.
my hope is that it actually gets to space.
Okay, I'm hungry and I can't wait for my food to come. Dude, Flex is amazing.
Hold on, my ears are kind of weird. What do you say?
I said Flex is amazing.
Oh, you're east. Oh yeah, you said that the IT crowd is there now, right?
I haven't seen IT Crowd, but I started watching. I've been watching Blackish.
Yep.
I love that show. Have you ever watched Goldenberg? The Goldenberg.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good.
What happened?
Basically, like I told you that like there's this weird like thing with like if you add gyroscopes where you shouldn't add gyroscopes, and like depending on the length and weight of the ship, like you can like if you try and like turn the ship like while still within a certain area of the atmosphere, like the ship will just literally snap in half. But my ship, instead of snapping in half, like it just turned into a noodle because it was also stuck together. It just went, it's bent like a U shape. First time I've ever seen that in my life.
Actually, I remember that being a part of.
Okay, let's just do this. Oop. Get rid of this. Let's dump this gyroscope. Hopefully this fixes the problem. Yeah, because that was crazy. Yeah. Yeah, but Plex is pretty amazing actually. Once you actually get to like tune it pretty well, like it gets pretty amazing.
Yeah, I was asking you, have you ever watched the show The Goldenbergs or?
I've seen parts of the Goldenbergs. Never really watched it.
Any chance you could get that on the facts?
I tried, and there's like it's the one show I could not get. Like okay, let's see if now we can do this without tearing the ship apart. Ooh, it does not like it. It does not like turning. Ooh, come on. Oh, there it goes. Wet noodle. Ooh. What is happening? to vehicle assembly. So should I just throw this thing away? Or do they both work the same? No. This is a module. Control point default, configure vessel naming. Interesting. Yes, configure. But can I have one? Oops, without the other. No! Oh, thank God. Let's move this. I get rid of this. And I bring this here. Can I just use this? Yes. I can. So, also, it's a small unit. Can not only receive and relay control, can also provide stabilization, just as a live pilot would. Also, it's 8-sided. Okay, I guess. That's good work now. Let's see if this works. Turn on SAS.
Any good shows on Netflix now?
Other than the Love, Death, and Robots, there's actually a couple, to be honest. What am I watching now on Netflix? I think I'm watching a new show. I'm trying to remember what it is. Just give me a second. Let me get this thing into orbit, and I'll tell you what good shows are there to be watched on Netflix. Oh, it's doing that thing again. Oh, it's doing that thing again. Oh, the ship does not like that. Oh, stop. Okay, I gotta kill the gyroscope on that thing. Revert flight. I'm gonna kill the gyroscope. Reaction wheels. Okay, disabled. That's what I want for now. Shows on. Oh, I told you. The Expanse is a great show. Here's my love and hate for The Expanse, right? It's a sci-fi show. It's like an OG sci-fi show. Like, you know, it's kind of it's been a while since like a proper sci-fi show has been on. Like kind of like Star Trek or the original Star Trek, right? And The Expanse is very much supposed to be like that, but it has just a few things. Like, so they do some things which like space travel. They literally knock almost that part out of the park. Like the way the show works with physics. For example, like the whole ship maneuverability in space. It's the way they actually work it. Like it looks like they actually grabbed like a real like someone who actually knows like astrophysics and at least and knows like, you know, at least how like rocket ships should behave in space. It looks like they hired someone to actually, and they talk to him and they go like, how would a ship like maneuver in space? And they kind of got that part like nailed it. Like, you know, in terms of like speeds and like acceleration and for example, like when they're trying to do like a deceleration after reaching a certain speed, like for example, they do this thing where like, you know, the ship doesn't just turn around. Like kind of like the ship kind of like rotates 180 to burn backwards. But then if they, depending on the deceleration they're doing, like for example, like everyone has to brace and like the ship has to like add this weird like pressure pump to like to like all the crew's like veins, so they can actually be able to like, you know, withstand the G forces of actually burning, of like basically burning and trying to go backwards, because like the actual G's that they're gonna be going through, like they're gonna be insane, right? Like they actually took into consideration like the amount, like the actual G forces that a ship that size would actually do, like hit like the crew inside of the ship, right? And like it was pretty amazing. It was one of the things that first grabbed me was like, damn, like they actually thought about this. And like one of the this guy's called Scott Manley. He does Kerbal like videos. Like he consistently talks about The Expanse on Twitter, and I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot. But I saw something yesterday in the show. It's like halfway retarded. Like, sorry for using that word, but it's so stupid. Like, what happened was the main characters, right? They were in this firefight, right? And you know that thing when like they're in a firefight and then they like jump like behind a table, right?
Yeah.
These guys jump behind a water tank. Like a small water tank. Basically a barrel of water. But a plastic water tank, right? Clearly plastic. And the bullets were hitting it and sparking. And I was like, what?
That makes so much logical sense.
Like the bullets would hit that plastic water tank as if they hit like a metal surface and like sparks would start flying off. And I was like, what? No. Like it's bad enough when the main characters jump behind a table and someone's firing bullets and the bullets would just not go through. Like, but basically like a water bottle. Like
Dude, don't you know bottles of steel?
Like a glorified water bottle. And bullets were ricocheting off it. And I was like, no. You can't be so good and so bad at the same time. Like,
Dude, don't diss the bottle, okay?
Dude, it was a water bottle. Like, how are bullets ricocheting off a water bottle? Like, you could probably pierce that thing with a pellet gun. Like, like my brain actually hurt when I saw that.
Like I said, I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Yeah, I know. But the show is kind of decent. Like, I would say you should try to watch. I just completed season 1. It's pretty decent. It's interesting. to be fair, I hate the main character. But like pretty much everyone around the main character I like. Like there's a detective who I really like in the show. It's like one of the only few proper characters. So like there's this detective and this army brat, and like those are the two like of the best characters in the show. Because like they literally like they don't give a like, you know, the F word. Like they just literally don't care. Like like they like literally like this detective is such a badass. Like he did this thing where like he kind of like infiltrated this terrorist group, and it kind of persuaded them to like turn on each other. And after they had turned on each other, like he was like still like infiltrated, like, you know, trying to like, you know, fight, you know, back and forth. And then it was just like him and the leader of the fire, and he ran into an elevator, and then he held the elevator open and was like, hey, come on, let's run away. And then like the leader looked at him and like ran towards the elevator, and like the guy just pulls out a gun and blows his brains off like 2 steps away from the elevator. The dude is like so badass. Like he is like, oh, he's crazy, but like he's the main character I like in the show. The main character though is supposed to be this commander. God damn it, I hate him so much. Like it's supposed to be cool, but he's just a wimp. Like there's no other way to put it.
What's this show called?
The Expanse.
Okay.
Casshern Sins is like a. You ever seen Mushishi? The anime.
I think so.
It's kind of like it's an anime about like it's about like spirit Japanese like mythology, like spirits and ghosts and monsters, but they're kind of like real in that world. But then it's like and then each episode is basically the main character traveling, you know, through different countries and lands. And Mushishi is also one of my favorite anime of all time. I've never actually completed it because like I watched the first season, and then I watched halfway or part of the second season, and then it kind of stopped because, and then like I think like Attack on Titan started coming out, and the SAO came out, and then like just started barraging with other anime, and it was like kind of like, yeah, I'll try it. Maybe I'll go back, and then I just never went back. But Mushishi is really nice. It's like the thing about Mushishi is that it's not particularly exciting, and it's also kind of depressing. But what makes Mushishi so good is the storytelling. Like it's literally a show about stories. It's like a story about, you know, individual stories, and the storytelling is so good that it just like it's literally, if you go to my anime list, it's like in the top 10.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just because
I remember you told me about it, and I think I watched it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just because the storytelling is so good. Now,
But it's not everyone's cup of tea, I think, to some extent.
What?
It's not everyone's thing either.
That's the thing. It's not everyone's thing, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I usually don't recommend shows like Mushishi and Casshern Sins to people like who are like who want to watch, for example, something exciting. Like, it's not for everyone. It's like a very deep story. It's kind of like Wolf's Children. Like, there was this one time, like I told you, right? I went to this girl's house, and she was kind of like, you know, kind of depressed, and I wanted to like. She asked me to bring a movie, and I brought Wolf Children, and she like laughed at the show. I wanted to. I wanted to slap her so hard. Like, I was like, oh, you are just the worst person I've ever met in my life. I stayed there like for a few minutes. After and then like halfway through the movie, I just turned it off and left. Like,
Oh, bro, I get you. I totally get you.
you don't laugh at wolf children. What the hell is wrong with you? God. Yeah, but
I
so.
think one of the reasons why I stopped talking with that Chinese girl who was in her collegium
Mm-hmm.
was because she was laughing at one of these, not Ghost Children, but one of those other enemies like Nausicaa or something.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. Like, I know. It's just like, oh, it's like, and then she kept talking throughout the show. Oh, this is so funny. Why is that wolf over there? And I was like, watch the damn movie.
That's the thing, you usually don't want to watch anime with other people unless they really appreciate it.
I know, right? Oh, it's the worst to try to introduce someone to. But I think there's different people. There are people who actually like. For example, I introduced like Zhao Wei to like Attack on Titan, and she just fell in love with it. And I introduced my mother to like one of the goriest animes I'd ever seen in my life, and she kept coming back to watch it. And I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Your mother?
Yeah, my mother. Like, it's because like she caught me. Like, I was in my bedroom, right, and I was just watching the show. And for me, it was like I just started watching the show, and for me, I was like, it was hard for me to watch because it was so gory. And my mother sat down. I think she was just trying to like connect, and I was like, I think it was just a bad time for her to try to connect with a child. But this show was like gory as shit, and she actually like after we watched like the first two episodes. She came back and was like, "Hey, can we see the next episode?" And I was like, "I don't want to see it anymore." Yeah, and I think it's just the beauty part of anime where like there's almost something for everyone, and you never really know like. You always think that a person is not gonna like a certain show, and then they actually start liking it, and then you go like, "Wow, I just did not expect this out of you." Like. And again, going back to Casshern Sins. Casshern Sins is a show which is essentially all about the apocalypse. Like, it's all about the apocalypse. And it doesn't, like, there's no good thing about that happens in the show. Like, everyone is, like, dying. And, like, every episode, everyone is dying. Like, everywhere the main character travels to, everyone around him is basically dying, except a couple of people, especially this little girl he has like this really deep connection with. And to be honest, I don't remember if that little girl dies. I'm almost pretty sure that little girl dies but essentially Casshern, like he ends up having this deep connection with this little baby girl because she's like also bright and happy, but like she's also dying. Like the little girl is like dying also. But she has such a bright look into life, and Casshern is like. The problem with Casshern is that like, it's the apocalypse and everyone is dying, but he was cursed with immortality.
Okay.
So everywhere he goes, everyone is dying except him. And it's basically a show about his travels. But he also has amnesia. So it's about his travels as he's trying to regain his memory. But it's also like horrifying for him because everywhere he goes, everyone sees that he's not dying and he's perfectly fine and he's immortal. And like everyone tries to like kill him for that because they think that if they eat him for some reason, they're going to get some of that immortality. And some people just want to kill him so they can actually like, find out what's actually giving him that immortality so they can use it and try to save like, the world.
Yeah.
So pretty much everywhere it goes, everyone is trying to kill him. And it's a case of like everyone's trying to kill him and he has to kill everyone in order to survive because even if he were to let other people to try and kill him, he can't even do that because he's immortal. Like, like there were a couple of times where he literally just let people try and kill him. Like he feels pain, but like he tries to die and he can't die. Also, but
That
like,
is so horrifying.
yeah, exactly. It's a really horrifying experience for the main character because he has no idea what's going on because like all he knows is that he can't die.
Yeah. That this actually sort of reminds me of another anime, not quite in the same way, but sort of similar. Have you? I think you watched it, right? It's about this like place where people go to after they die, and there's this bartender, and each episode is
Oh yeah,
about
yeah.
like.
I saw that one. I saw all of it. It was pretty cool. That one was like that show sent chills to my spine, to be honest. Like
Huh?
that show that you're talking about, it sent spines
Yeah.
down my it sent chills down my spine
Yeah.
because like deep in, like I don't really necessarily believe in an afterlife, but it's kind of like part of me still like like I said, I was born Catholic, so that thought of like the afterlife is still very much engraved inside of me.
No, it's more like you're hoping that like life just doesn't end after it.
Exactly, and exactly, there's also that part of me that actually does like. I don't necessarily believe in the afterlife, but it would be nice if there was one.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure as I'm in my deathbed, I'm probably gonna like pray for it also. But it's
It just feels like after everything, like I don't know, however long you live, you like it's just gonna end like this.
exactly right. And that show that you're talking about really dives deep. It dives because like they're pretty. I mean, the characters are kind of pretty much like Grim Reapers, really,
Yeah.
because they're actually they're kind of like Grim Reapers, and they also sentence you to like either go to heaven or to hell. And the way and I think the most jarring episode was the first one, right? Where like
Mhm.
they brought in that couple and they started like playing this game where they like were like, okay, which one of you wins out of this game, sorry, whoever loses this game in this room goes to hell. And the way that couple turned on each other, like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like it was insane the way they turned on each other. And but a lot of the games were like mind games against the couple, and like they started like just tearing each other apart, like, and it's just like
You know,
the way it's I think the part about all of these shows is the way they play the human mentality.
yeah.
I think it's I think there's a name for this there's a name for this genre.
Yeah. Psychological.
Yeah, I think it's psychological. But I think I just found out what the
Psychopath is also psychological.
exactly psychopath is psychological. Berserk is as I mean it's kind of like half psychological, half horror, and
It's
half
also
gore.
kind of psychological, yeah. But the thing is, like the anime I was talking about, I think the most saddest part was about the assistant for the main bartender.
Oh yeah, that she was a
The
doll.
bartender had no emotions originally because he's been doing the job for so long and seeing so many people go through it. He gave up open emotions, and
Yeah.
when that girl actually then went up to heaven, he actually cried, and that sort of broke me up in pieces as well.
You know
to a
what?
certain extent.
I think that was just a spoiler for me. I don't think I watched the end. But oh no, wait, no, I think I did remember she did go to heaven, but I think half of the show was about her, like him hiring her so he can study her.
Yeah.
And then he actually because like I said, he had no emotions at all. So he was studying her human emotions, but then like they started to connect. But then she started regaining her memories about who she is. And at the end, I think she figured out that she was a doll. She like it's like that she was already dead. and she was a doll.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was kind of like this whole trip until the part where like I think her soul was kind of finally released and she went to heaven. And but the thing is like about that show is like it's how everything is kind of in a weird balance to where like it literally doesn't take much for you to go to hell. Like
Yeah.
like it does, like literally you could do almost nothing and like you could end up in hell very easily.
Yeah.
And
And that sort of reminded me of Angel Beats ending as well. Dude, Angel Beats was like I felt so many emotions watching that single anime. It's like it was a fucking roller coaster.
I think what else was
Oh wait, I'm not allowed to swear, am I?
not really. At least try not to. Because I've already released a couple of F-bombs.
That is so hard.
I know, right? What was it? What was... Oh, yeah. There's also another anime I think you should try to see. It's called Aka. I think it's ACCA. It's like a weird, like, mental game about, like, I think it's, I think they're kind of they're like in a different universe, but they're kind of going through their World War One, or is it World War Two? I think one of them. They're going through one of their world wars, and like it wasn't a particularly amazing anime, but sorry, it was a really well made anime with kind of like a dull story.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen I'm forgetting the name. Hold on, let me look at here at the list. Pretty sure.
It's all
Violet Evergarden. Evergarden.
Yes, 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 of course, yes.
That show was boring as hell. Like it was beautiful as hell, but there was no content in that story in that show.
I liked it.
Like my thing with Violet Evergarden was like it was very beautiful, but like there were parts where the story was good, but I found most of the story kind of dull. Like there was like almost no progression in the story. Like the only progression was that she somehow could gain emotions. Like that was literally, and she found out that like her crush was dead.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it was kind of bad. But that was literally.
Sad, but I think the one which you're trying to talk about, which is similar, is the one with that guy gets reincarnated into a small girl during a war.
That is straight up one of my favorite shows ever. It's I think Ballad of Tanya the Evil.
Yeah, but I forgot the name of the anime.
That's it, Ballad of Tanya the Evil. Well, that's in English at least.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the
I don't know.
actual name.
I'm not gonna remember. Like I'm not gonna remember all Japanese words when I don't even know what they mean. It's Saga of Tanya the Evil. Tanya is crazy. Like, oh, I love that show so much. I think second season 2 comes out. It's coming out soon.
What is it called? Yojo Senki.
Yeah. But yeah, Tanya is crazy. Like, and I fucking love her for that. But like, and now apparently, but it's just crazy, like how she's basically a tiny little girl, but she's like brutal. She's like, she's like brutal as hell. It was like it's funny, like they cursed him into like being a tiny blonde little blue-eyed girl. And she wanted to be ended up being one of the main generals of the army. Like, I think, what was her nickname? What, like Angel of Death or something?
Yeah. It was wow.
No, yeah, Tanya was crazy.
That's a crazy show.
Very enjoyable, also. I also just finished seeing Wolf's Rain. It's pretty decent. Like it's one of those animes that I wouldn't particularly say that it was amazing or but it was a different story. Because like I feel like that's what I appreciate mostly about any show. If the story is actually like if the storyline is new, then that's because like a lot of times like the whole storyline about I had amnesia and then now I'm trying to get it back and now I have to fight through all these people. It's kind of played out. Like
It's been done.
it's been done. The whole isekai thing. I mean, the good thing that I mean, the whole isekai thing is a little bit weird because yes, it's been done, but then like the whole Tateno Shield guy is kind of really interesting. But I think the best thing about isekai is that literally the only part that they actually focus on the isekai part is like right in the beginning, and then like they never talk about it again. But for me, it's like I was saying, it's like for example, banana fish was man, it's hard. Like I have nothing against the whole homosexual side of it, but like how many times am I supposed to watch like people like it makes me feel like kind of attacked when I see like everyone like this, like them trying to rape this dude, and it's like damn, like that's terrifying. Like, but then it's also kind of that part of like yeah, but like what happens when like women watch a movie and then like someone rapes a woman, like they probably feel the same thing. And that's kind of like one of the main reasons like I actually tried to like keep on watching Banana Fish. It's just like it's hard to watch, but if you think about it from a woman's point of view, a lot of shows are exactly like that.
Uh-huh. I get you. It's just like
It's
I
just
don't
trying
think
to
it's
get.
something which I can watch, to be honest.
It's hard to. It's a little bit hard to watch, but I say it's for me. It's like even if it's hard to watch, a lot of shows. If I feel like there's like an important lesson to be learned in it, I will grind through it. Like even if like it might be something that I'm like Berserk. Like it's hard to watch through it. It's very hard to watch through it. But like for the story, you'll push through. And it's the same thing with Banana Fish. Like it's hard to watch. Like, there's some pretty graphic scenes, and it's like, but I'll push through it.
I'll try my best to watch it someday.
I don't think you'll be able to watch it just because I kind of know you.
No, I mean, I have no problems with that. It's just like,
No, it's not a question of having a problem with homosexuality. It's a problem of being able to watch that show because the problem with the show isn't that the main character is kind of gay. It's more like the guy is like the whole premise is that like he's basically the play toy of this mafia boss, and that was the biggest that was the part that I had the most problems with. Like this, that like he was a play toy of his mafia boss, and then like there were a couple of people in that mafia ring in that gang that also wanted to rape him, like or basically just wanted to have sex with him. And then when there's this part like when he actually goes to jail, and then he gets raped again. Like shit.
yeah, no, no.
Yeah,
I think I'm just not good with such gory stuff in general.
exactly what I'm saying. Like it's a hard watch. Like, but I have to finish it. Just I feel like my morals just telling me that like I should be able to watch this show. and not complain a lot. At least it's a lot better than watching Eromanga Sensei. I watched like 3 of those episodes, and it was like basically bleaching my eyeballs through every episode. Like, oh, it's so difficult.
I'm actually watching Ready Player One, and the concept about this looks pretty cool. Have you seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen Ready Player One. Belladonna's Sadness is a really, really old movie, and I really want to watch it. I just need to like put myself mentally there. But apparently, it's Belladonna's Sadness is essentially an art piece. Like you can't look at it as a normal anime. Belladonna's Sadness is not necessarily an anime, but it's more like art pieces just framed. Uh, and I have to see it at some point. Um, there's also Dunkirk. I haven't seen Dunkirk. Enemy at the Gates is a really good movie. Crimes of Grindelwald, don't watch that. That thing is the copy I got was pretty trash. I'm gonna delete that soon.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch Grindelwald anyway.
Yeah. Why? You don't like it?
No, I love Harry Potter. I just don't like watching anything which isn't Harry Potter.
I mean, it's not really Harry Potter. It's more like a different story. It's kind of like X-Men Origins. To be fair, which is the best X-Men out of all X-Men movies.
Okay, so it's like that. I just heard very bad reviews about it, but I guess if you say so, I'll.
That's the thing. I also heard a lot of bad reviews, but I actually really enjoyed the first one. Overlord, that is a horror movie. I have not seen it yet.
Oh yeah, I watched Overlord.
No, not the anime. The movie.
Oh, okay.
It's not a live action. It has nothing to do with the anime. This is a very like zombie filled anime. So the only movies that I will warn you against about watching in Plex is the one that's written Perfect Blue and Paprika. Watch out.
Okay.
Watch out for
Say
this.
watch out. You're the same guy who dragged me off into a dark room to watch your movie.
I know, but those two are shows that I'm watching out for. That's what I'm saying. I will watch them, but I'm being very careful with them. Alright, okay. Try this again.
This thing sort of reminds me of Sound. Very fair one.
Well, kind of, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's doing it again. Okay. Let's fix that problem. Reaction wheels disabled. Yep, there it goes. I have no idea why it does that. This goes very top heavy. This is just too top heavy. What to do? What to do?
She's the big mystery. No, no, a bet is a bet. Oh, wow. Oh, you can hear me. Free Thursday? Okay. God, yes, you.
Now, can we actually successfully get this ship to orbit? Okay.
Let's be honest, like this is the actual issue in Gameplay.
What is?
Like he's saying like this guy, the main character, everyone has a crush on this digital avatar who is a girl, right?
Hmm?
So his best friend's like that person who you think is a girl could actually be a 300-pound dude somewhere and is a dude. He probably like she might not even be a girl.
Those are actually pretty high chances.
Catfishing, that's the thing.
Yep. Oh god, no,
It
no,
even
no,
has the
no.
word fishing in it.
No, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. I'm gonna have to kind of. Try to eyeball this one. Good eyeballing. I managed to eyeball this. Feels pretty good. Let's try to. think that works. It's a good altitude. I could try to get it to be 100. I would like to be 100 kilometers up there. Launch one more here, and then click when it's going. Maybe it's not high enough. Oh man, I can't even automatically set that. Cool.
Please don't be a sister. Otherwise, I swear to God, I will do something to your plans.
Whoa. What the hell happened to my control of the ship? Uh-oh. Stop throttling. How do I stop this? I lost all control.
Your ship?
What the?
Or is it computer?
I don't know, I lost all control of the ship. The fuck? The hell? I can't control throttle anymore.
Did you finish fuel?
No, that's the problem. It has fuel.
Okay, give me a second, let me see what
I can't. No! Stop! Stop! Oh my god! What's happening? Oh, I know what's happening. I know what's happening. It's kind of what I feared would happen. I didn't fear it, I just didn't foresee it. The probe just lost complete control Like it doesn't. It doesn't. Damn it.
No electricity?
No, it has more than enough power. It's a probe. Just think about this, right? It's a probe, right? And I've already achieved orbit, and I'm trying to get to, like, extend its orbit a little bit so it's a little bit further from, so it gets, a little bit better connection to other probes that I'm going to send out. But if my space station is on one side of the Earth and then the probe is at the other, what happens if I tell the probe to throttle up and then, the probe passes that horizon? You're not even listening. Why bother? But I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong. Okay, let's see if I get further control. Nope. I'm gonna have to burn upwards a little bit longer. Like to get at least 200 kilometers up in the air. Yeah, there's probably a bunch of cool mods for Kerbal that I forgot I can add. I'm saying cool. You're not listening anymore, dude. I'm not even talking to you anymore. Like, no, you're not. I asked you, like, I was been talking to you for a while. I was like, you just, oh my god, you went quiet.
No. It's just like I thought, like sometimes you just like YouTube, so I'm leaving it. That's why.
No, yeah, like you literally asked me a question. The thing is, you asked me a question, I answered, and then I replied with a question, and then you went silent, and I was like, what?
Sorry, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. Advanced
Like I was actually
takeaways.
like right now watching your Kerbal thing. That's why I'm like.
I'm gonna try to get a couple of mods. I'm just gonna try to get a couple of mods. So all it is. Mods.
Are people watching right now?
I don't really think so. Not found. We're unable to find. Oh no. No mods. Oops. Wrong page.
What mods do you actually have?
Right now for Kerbal, I don't really have any mods.
Do you remember that blue skies and like that graphics mod thing, atmospheric mod?
No, exactly, and that's what I'm trying to get. There used to be like a lot of really cool mods for Kerbal. But personally, I just like visual mods. I don't like to touch. Like, once you start touching propulsion, the game gets a little bit cheaty. McJab. Actually, I've heard about this mod a lot. Jeb pod for pods. Then use the button on the right side to move the jet selection interface. I don't even know what Bookjab does. Oh, I think Bookjab is a guidance system. To be fair, it's one thing that I think I really need.
Are you talking to me?
Kind of, but not really. So no worries.
No, it's just like I thought you were talking, then I thought you asked a question.
I was commenting. So, yeah. Kerbal autopilot. Don't scale, inventory system, near future propulsion, airplane plus, near future sun, interstellar extended, near future electrical, stockable station parts, environment. Yes, I think this was the one. Stock visual enhancements.
Oh yeah, I need to remember watching.
Wait, so should I get this V or the other one? Also, can I get mods for Kerbal through Steam? So, shop. I guess not. Oh, go away. What? This visual element strives to give your stock facelift realistic clouds and atmospheres. As of now, Kerbal cloud radiation city lights in Kerbal's case. I will not jump into rain. Install. strong investments. What is the difference between that? Very confused. That looks like a ladder candy. Okay. Wait, if you use CCAN, select the return and choose config and tell what is CCAN. Cool. Okay, so I ran down to unpack, download the latest zip files, unpack them into your KSP directly. Zip file include again. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna pause the stream for now. I'm gonna work on getting this these mods working. And I'll log back in.